I'm so excited because I finally get to give you a lot more information on two items that we've been working on for a long time behind the scenes that make pop music. I finally get to tell you about our brand new guitar loop and sample libraries, Spark and Flint. In this video, I want to show you around the packs. I want to kind of show you some of the sounds that you're going to find in each one. There will be timestamps down below if you want to skip to any of the examples or skip to any of the main topics that we're going to talk about. But I figured, why not start at the very beginning and talk a little bit about why we even made these packs? We've been doing YouTube videos for a very, very long time, and over the years there have been a lot of genres and songs that are pretty guitar based. And every time we do one of those videos, or we want to do one of those videos, we get the same questions over and over. What if I don't know how to play guitar? What if I don't have this kind of guitar? What if I can play guitar but my skills are not good enough for this specific style? And we've always said, you know, you can collaborate with people, you can hire session guitarists, there are virtual guitar plugins that you could use, and all of those options are great. But physical session guitarists are extremely expensive, and plugins like session guitarists from Native Instruments, while they are great, they're more so to actually play riffs yourself, and I find that a lot of the loops that they have are more so kind of filler loops that you would put in a track. They're not things that are super inspiring to me. I basically wanted to deliver guitar sounds that I would use in a mix as song starters, I could use in a mix as extra little elements, and then we wanted to give people the flexibility of having something that are, you know, professional tones straight when you load them in, or having multiple takes of DI for every single loop so you can add your own tones, you can pan them, you can arrange them how you want. There are no packs like this on the market, at least that I could find. Splice samples are great. There's a couple little packs here and there, but I've yet to find one that is as expansive and as inspiring as both of the ones that we're going to talk about today. So that's why we made them. Let's talk a little bit about how we made them. I tracked a lot of these loops myself. I've been playing guitar since I was like 9 years old, but it was really important to me to have other tones, have other styles, have other people's fingers. Everybody plays guitar so differently, and I didn't want to be the only one contributing, so we hired a small team of professional guitarists that have some of the best tones that I've ever heard. They have some of the best playing chops that I've ever heard. So I do want to say a really, really quick shout out to everybody who helped. Dan Smith, Dan Marr, Ryan McCormick, Adam Sliger, Crustacean. Thank you guys so much for actually contributing to these packs. There will be links to all of their stuff down below if you want to check them out, or if you want to hire them for your own guitar needs, if you want them to do session guitar, hit them up. They are such nice people. They did an incredible job with this pack. But not only did we hire the best guitarists in the world, they also brought out some of the best gear that you can buy. So there is a list of all of the gear that are actually on these product pages, but I'll just flash it by right here. Not to flex, but between these packs, there was probably about $100,000 of gear used. I'll go ahead and let's dive in so I can kind of show you about these. Whether you get Flint or Spark or any of these that we do in the future, we might do other genre-based ones, they are all going to kind of function the same. So let me go ahead and just pull this up right here. For Flint and for Spark, I'm going to talk about the similarities, and then I'll talk about what each pack is and what each one contains. But both of the packs are going to come with a video that actually show you how to use the pack, how to install the pack, how you can actually chop up the samples yourself, how you can load up the DI and crank out your own tones, how you can resample guitar with something like a sampler or Serum. There's a bunch of cool stuff. It's like a 25-minute personal tutorial in here. But other than that, both of these packs are going to come with a folder of process loops and a folder of raw loops. So in Spark, if we go to process loops, these are going to be stereo files with all of the tones printed. Everything on there is perfect. But if you decide, hey, I really like Ghosted, it's a really, really great loop. I love what it's playing. However, I don't want it to be stereo. I only want it to be mono. Or I don't really want that specific tone. I want my own tone on it. What you can do is you can go back here to the raw folder, and Ghosted was the one that we decided. So we can open this up. And there are 2 takes of the DI, so now you can load that into your DAW. You can pan them out if you want. You can layer them. You can alternate the takes if you want it to feel even more human. All of the DI is edited for time, and we've edited out breaths and, you know, as much of the squeaks and stuff that we could. But other than that, they are completely raw. Anything that was acoustic tracked in Flint or in Spark is running through a mic and maybe a compressor or something like that, but there's no other processing. And so whether it's acoustic, whether it's electric, whether it's banjo, slide guitar, everything is going to have multiple DI takes, so you have full flexibility. And there's a lot of loops in both of these packs that have rhythm parts and lead parts, or they have multiple things happening. And for those, there are multiple DIs of the rhythm and multiple DIs of the lead. I can actually show you a quick example right here. Here is a loop that we have straight out. This is what you would find in the process folder. This one is from Spark. It's called Bottle. We've got like a Sting in the Police vibe, but let's say I love that pluck. However, I don't necessarily want that chorusy tone. Here are what the two DIs sound like. So you can easily say, you know what, we're going to double track these. They're going to be panned out. They are separate takes, so you're not going to run into phasing, and you can pop whatever tone makes your heart happy. That's what it'll look like if it's a simple riff that only has one thing happening. But here is a riff that is a little bit more complicated, that has more stuff happening. This one's called Top Down. This is also out of Spark. And you'll see right here that we do have the DI for that main section. But then we've also got DIs for all of those little extra melodies. We wanted to make sure that both of these packs are super inspiring off rip just as you start to go through these, but I can't tell you how many times I've heard a loop that is a really cool idea, but it is just not flexible enough for what I need in the packs. So now that I've talked about why we made both of these packs and how they're both kind of similar, let's talk about how they're different. So we have two, we have Spark and we have Flint. I'm going to show you examples of both in just a second, but Spark is going to be our pop-based guitar pack. So Spark is going to come with 111 completely unique individual loops in the process section. And again, a lot of those will have multiple layers. So 111 ideas that you can use as a song starter. You can kind of drag and drop them. But then in the raw loop section, since everything is multiple tracked, you basically have right around 350 tracks that you could use. We have some top 40 stuff. We have some funk and soul and R&B stuff. We have some rock stuff. We have some hyperpop stuff. We do have some acoustic in there. There is so many options. And they're so inspiring that even when I was making them or when people were submitting their sounds, I was just thinking that's 100 brand new song ideas that I could just come up with right off rip. Even as somebody who has played guitar my whole life, I will be using this pack every single day, especially for writing sessions. If you're somebody who's working on top lining, these could be really, really great to give you your start. And I do just want to say that Flint and Spark are both 100% royalty free. You'll never have to clear a sample with us. You'll never have to give us any backend or publishing. You're never going to have to credit us. However, if you do use them in a song, send it over to us on Instagram. I'd love to hear it. I love hearing how our stuff is used. But that is Spark. And now let's talk a little bit about Flint. This is going to be a folk and folk pop pack. This is inspired by artists such as Zach Bryan, Noah Kahan, Bon Iver, Gracie Abrams, Folklore by Taylor Swift, anything that Aaron Dessner really produces. So in Flint, you're going to get 105 completely unique ideas in the processed loop section. And then this one, you actually get closer to like 370 raw loops, I believe. There are so many cool sounds in this pack. We didn't just want to do acoustic guitar. So we did acoustic guitar. We did multiple acoustic guitars. I think we probably used like 15 on this pack. And then we used rubber bridge guitars like the Orangewood Juniper. We used banjos. We used mandolins. We used pedal steels. And everything was tracked 100% live. There are no VSTs. There are no, MIDI instruments. If you have any questions on either one of these packs, please let us know. I know there's a lot of information in this video. Let's listen to some examples. However, there are longer examples on our website, and even those are not even a quarter of these packs. by now you get the gist. Definitely go read more about these packs. Definitely go follow the people who contributed to these packs. Again, all of their info will be down in the description. And you can even go listen to the longer demo tracks that are on our website if you need a little bit more persuading. But if you have any questions, reach out to us at support@makepopmusic.com. These are royalty free as well as everything else on our website. Make sure that you go shop during the spring sale before the end of April 28th if you want to save 25% on these and everything else, including the courses as well. But that's going to do it for this walkthrough of these packs. I really enjoyed making these. Much love to everybody who helped us. Thank you for all of the support that you guys show us on the channel. These are some of the coolest things that we've ever released, so I actually do hope that you go check these out. I think that these are monumental for people. So go check them out. They're on our website. Much love. Peace.